What were some I can't believe I'm getting paid for this moments at your job? I write smut for a living. Every now and then I write a line or get an idea for a story that's so ridiculously over the top that I genuinely have to take a step away from my laptop for a second and question exactly how it is *THIS* became my life. My personal favorite is the very nice email I got from someone who wanted me to commission me to write a story about him being sounded by a Hot Wheels car. He wanted the first half of the story to be about the car stretching out his urethra as it went in great detail, and the second half to be about the damage the car's wing mirrors did to his pee hole as it came out. I politely declined. I also love my job, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't want to do anything else. It's just *f*** king odd sometimes. My old job deliberately gave us downtime when work was slow and wouldn't give us more to do till like 3. Worked retail and had to stick hundreds of items of clothing with little black sale stickers. Just as I'm finishing up I was told they changed their mind and wanted me to use red stickers instead. So I went back over every item with red stickers. It was also a public holiday in Australia, so I was paid too. Right *** king. Now I work in a call center for a government body here in the UK. Since February I've been paid 12 an hour to *** king sit here and do *** k all. I have taken personally, myself, since February, 6 calls, but *** I am bored. I used to make video content for social media to drive ticket sales for a major arts festival. I would go to the tech rehearsal for major operas, plays, ballet etc. There would be the full cast and orchestra performing as if they were playing to a full house, but it was just me and my camera. I could move around to get the right shot. I could go backstage and interview the performers and whoever else was in my brief to talk to. I got to tour around with an opera once. I have no background in this. I'm completely self-taught and had only done really pedestrian jobs before this. It was amazing. I never would have wanted to go to an opera or ballet before this came along. If you ever have the chance to see something like this go, it's not as boring as you think it will be. In a past job, albeit a low-paid one, I got to help raise a baby sea otter, and one day I had the task of combing and fluffing up her fur to keep her waterproof and help her float. I was literally being paid to groom an adorable baby otter. Expos. They bought my department first-class high-speed train tickets to get there, paid all food, rooms, etc., and let us wander around and see all the technology and innovations. Every customer or supplier of ours waved us into their booth, gave us beer, food, and free swag. After the expo, there was a company party on the expo floor in our booth, free food, booze, and seeing probably 90% of senior staff of our company completely hammered. I work 8 hours a day. I actually work 20 minutes to a half hour of that. I read Reddit most of the day. I was a photojournalist, getting paid to sit on the sidelines of major sporting matches, at the sound desk, or in the pit of bands from AC/DC to top, meet all sorts of interesting people and create a photo to help tell their story. I photographed John Cleese during a sound check. He went on a 20-minute rant about photographers. I had to ask him to stop as I was laughing so hard I couldn't take pictures. Met Jackie Stewart and heard him speak about his time as a Formula 1 driver. It was an amazing job, and one I was very lucky to do for as long as I did. Some days I would think some people would pay to be able to do this. There were crap days too. Sitting in the hot sun at a murder scene all day, watching police bag evidence sucks, as does attending car crashes in the middle of the night, in the rain. But I remember the good days better than the bad ones. I once worked as a graphic designer for a well-known website / Facebook page about movies / series / video games / music, and sometimes I had to do very poor photo edits, like pasting a famous actor's head on the body of a cartoon character to illustrate the fact that this character will have this famous actor's voice in this movie, or things like that. I was asked to do the ***TTIEST edit possible to make the post funny. Not at my job, but I was once in a documentary of the miners' strike. I lifeguarded for 3 years, so a lot. When it gets rainy and everyone leaves the pool, they normally keep us around just in case it clears up. We watch TV and raid the snack bar. We play in the pool sometimes and blast music on the speakers. I used to get paid to hack into companies' networks. For the longest time it was I can't believe I get to do this legally and get paid stupid amounts of money for it. Then it just started pissing me off when I realized all the company's network security suck. Many were hiring me for a compliance checkbox, and when it'd come back the following year they hadn't done anything. In some cases not even changed the damn passwords I used from the year prior. I now maintain a large list of companies I will never do business with using any type of credit card, because I'm 110% positive it will be compromised if it hasn't been already. A positive one. I get to teach kids how to play Dungeons and Dragons for 6 weeks every summer. Rolling into work dressed in an elf princess costume and getting to play a game for 7 hours a day, it feels unreal. I'm still incredulous every time that direct deposit hits. Oh hey, I can answer this one. I'm a dog trainer and we help dogs that are reactive to other dogs when on leash, i.e. barking/lunge at dogs when on walks, and one of the ways we do this is to drag a stuffed dog around. Looks realistic at a distance. You even talk to the stuffed dog, pet it, and pretend to feed it. All of this is happening while another trainer feeds the real dog anytime they see the fake dog. I've legit been asked if I'm crazy before until people figure out we are training a dog. Edit. Wow, this is my most popular comment to date. For those wondering what this is, it is a form of behavior modification. To find trainers who do stuff like this, try searching for trainers, remote or in person, certified through the Academy for Dog Trainers. I'm certified through this organization and we get a very heavy dose of behavior modification for this stuff. Make sure the trainers are force-free and positive, and that they never punish a dog for reacting. The latter will never help, and will only make things worse. Client wanted to do a small tenant improvement to their existing office space, and had existing PDF drawings of the office building, floor plans, cross sections etc. I quoted the client $2K for architectural permit plans, which would include redrawing the existing PDFs in AutoCAD and then drawing the proposed plans. Before I started the task of redrawing the PDFs, I had the idea. I Google searched PDF to DWG converter. To my surprise there were *MANY softwares that did this type of conversion. I managed to finish the entire project in about 5 hours. Literally 70% of my time at work is spent sitting at my desk bulls **TTING around. Pretty much that. Working in it, getting paid to be a professional Googler basically. I sometimes use Paint to alter screenshots of a technical drawings, which I then paste into PowerPoint to add annotations, and then print the whole thing into monochrome PDF. And you best believe, we're changing big money for all of this. Also, we print every email. I'm doing a project right now that a drunk monkey could do with his hands tied behind his back. I'm a waiter, and if there's a mistake or a takeaway no-show, we get to eat it. Often we get paid to stand around and smear pizza Reddit. Wow, so obviously smear was supposed to be eat. Anytime a client takes me out for lunch or invites me to a golf or shooting tourney. But the craziest for me was when I was taken to a 4-hour lunch to a high-end steakhouse on Warren Buffett's credit card. That was pretty dope. Probably the opposite end of the spectrum than intended, but I work as a professional photo retoucher for a mid-sized e-commerce site that focuses on women's clothing. So one day I was going through and editing lookbook images, meaning we outsourced a photographer, got a more expensive model, and shot on location. And in order to know which images, we have a spreadsheet which gives me an image number, a deadline, and editing notes, which is something specific they want done to the image. This is where things getting interesting. I'm working my way through all of my edits when I come to an image number with a single editing note: remove horse genitals. Of course I think it's odd and kinda funny, but only expect to maybe have to remove a couple equine testes. So I open the image, the model in a field sporting a yellow fluffy coat walking a horse by the reins, and a massive, fully unsheathed, red rocket hanging low. as I spent the next 5 minutes gingerly and artfully making sure this penis doesn't make it to the public. I couldn't help but keep asking myself how TF am being paid to photoshop away a horse's dick. Edit. Wow, my most upvoted comment ever is about a horse penis. I had to rub oil on a model's leg for a photo shoot. Mine are all pretty minor, but this is my favorite. Marketing has Macs. There's a recall on a battery for the MacBook one guy has. In theory I could have mailed it straight to Apple and they would mail it back, but instead I drove 30 minutes south to a computer store that would mail it for me. I ate Mexican food. I drove back, and then a week or so later I drove down and picked it up. I did not eat Mexican because the call came in late Friday and I had already eaten. I got paid 2 hours plus mileage plus 1 lunch to deliver someone's MacBook to a store because they are too busy and important to do it themselves. And I'm perfectly okay with that. When there's conferences in really nice or fun locations, it really struck me the first couple conferences I went to. So you're sending me to New Orleans /Miami/Hong Kong/London and I get my normal pay, you're paying for travel and a nice hotel and I get per diem. Anytime I dog sit for my neighbors. Used to work at a video store in college. Literally got paid to watch movies and do homework. Minimum wage, but hey, I got paid to study. This was the last video store I town, so it was usually extremely dead. I worked in a salmon processing plant for a summer. The fish grinder got jammed up one day and blew a seal, which flooded the entire plant floor with 2-3 in of bloody water. We were paid O/T-pay-2 for 2 hours while maintenance tried to fix the grinder because as soon as it was fixed we needed to get back to work. I was rather amused I got hazard pay on one assignment, and at our work requirements, we were put up in a $250 a night beachfront resort, and this is 20 years ago, in a cruise port town. Because of cost overruns, we were required to only work a 40-hour, 5-day workweek, but they still paid for our hotel, meals, and car during the weekends and after hours. We did a ton of sightseeing, parties way too hard, and had a kick-ass time. I took up boogie boarding, and 22-year-old me was hanging out with the ladies waiting to get on the cruise ships. The only hazard on that assignment was 2 Olivers. I'm the marketing director for a Chinese dumpling shop in the southeast USA, which is really a pretentious way of saying that I'm a liaison between an adorable, kind-hearted tiny Chinese lady that works 70 hours a week making handmade food and the American internet. She handles most of our advertising efforts in Mandarin. She handles Chinese apps/marketing services. Our Yelp and Google rating places us among the best restaurants in our area. Bloggers and food writers reach out to us on a regular basis. TBF more of a reflection of her work than mine, and there's enough trust built that I can essentially do whatever I feel like to advance her goals without her caring to know many details. Part of the advertising budget I created for her includes creating content. I posted a few topical memes on our Instagram story and got a noticeable boost in followers. One late night, when I couldn't sleep, I cranked out a stack of dank dumpling memes at my usual hourly rate. Honestly, most aren't fit for public consumption, but there have been a few number that made the cut and get posted on our social media outlets, usually accompanied by some favorable metrics. So I get paid to make memes, my employer gets a good ROI, and the whole thing feels extremely wholesome. TLDR, PM me for top shelf dumpling memes. Literally sitting there for 4 hours because the power went out. We were instructed to just stay in the break room. Boss ran to town and bought us pizza and we just hung out with some flashlights for light bulls **TTING and F***KING around. We were making close to $20 an hour, so that was the easiest money I've ever made. We worked our ass off though, because our boss treated us so good. Also I love pooping on company time, because F***K my current job. I'll sit in there for 20 minutes if I want. Imam overpass carer for disabled adults. I do maybe an hour of work a night, and do whatever else the rest of the night. I bring my PlayStation to work sometimes. My last job was a support worker, working with adults that have intellectual disabilities. During my shifts I would go swimming. I went to a local water slide park. I went to movies. I went to museums. I spent afternoons outside walking, through parks or just down the streets. We had bonfires and roasted s'mores in the autumn evenings. Once in a while we would go out for lunch or dinner to a restaurant. I would eat what we cooked for the guys in the home, so free meals on shift. Everyone in the house was an amazing cook too. One guy was a cook at a local restaurant part-time and prepared some dishes. Everyone loved working with him, so he would cook. Everything was free for me. I never paid to get into these places. I had a budget that covered my meals when we went out. I ate for free while working. It was a **TTY. Very hard job sometimes, but it had some crazy good benefits to being there. I miss floating on my back in a pool in the summer laughing because I was getting paid. I had to broadcast 2 minutes of silence on Armistice Day. I worked in local radio. The presenter sent me out in the radio car as he wanted silence from the locality. In fact, he wanted silence from the highest point in the county. I drove up the highest hill and unwound my cable to the peak. Sadly, the silence was too quiet and the transmitters started shutting down. So he had to mix in more silence from another radio station. That was the stupidest job I ever did, and I did plenty. My team goes on a paid ski trip every year. Sitting on a ski lift with the cute girls from the sales department passing around shots scoping out our next line. I work recording and mixing MM. One day my job was to record and edit burps. Everyone was laughing in the studio. I love my job. Waiting for supplies. We played cards for 4 days. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching.